This method will produce picture-perfect stuffed shells, but this is not exactly how your Italian grandmother would have done things. Like my other recipes on YouTube, this was developed for commercial restaurant use. The flavor is great and the look is perfect, but it is designed so that it's finished only at the last minute to enable fast, high-volume restaurant service. Okay, we have boiling salted water at a rolling boil. Now I'm going to add these. Now if you don't have experience with these kinds of shells before, then you may not realize that a high percentage of them wind up getting damaged in the cooking process, and there's not much you can do about that. So if you're just making food for home and you don't mind the shells have a split down the side, then you can make pretty much a couple more than you actually need. If you're doing it for a restaurant, everything has to look perfect. You cook about twice as many shells as you're going to actually serve, because about half of them are going to end up having cracks and splits in them no matter what you do. And you can help this out by stirring it very gently, periodically, but ultimately there's not much you can do. Also, the package direction calls for cooking this for 11 minutes. I'm going to cook it for 10 minutes, just 1 minute less than the package directions. Okay, I'm going to show you the stir on this. This is not slow motion. This is exactly how I'm doing it. I'm trying to be very gentle. Go in from the edges, stir it gently once in a while, just like that. Okay, the time is up, and now I'm going to gently lift these off into chilled water. And you can see, despite me being careful, there's still cracks, there's still split shells like this. That's what I'm talking about. No matter what you do, you end up with some of those, no matter how careful you are. Okay. We're going to let these cool completely before we proceed. Okay, you have 100 grams of that fall veal. I'm going to add the ricotta, the mozzarella, and the egg yolk, and just start beating it together. Okay, I've got the filling all mushed together. I've got the pan I'm going to put the shells on with a little bit of olive oil in the bottom, and I'm just going to smear it around just to keep them from sticking. Now the delicate operation of taking these shells that are now fairly completely cooked, not completely, but fairly completely cooked, and putting the filling into them. You don't want to overstuff them, but you definitely want to get them full. And most important of all, you do not want to break them. And you're going to have to be a little bit delicate with each one, especially the first time you do it. You have to still get the hang of it. Okay, you got one that's filled. It's going to go in the pan here. Okay, I just put enough in here for 2 portions. I'm going to put some chicken stock in the bottom of this. You don't have it so that the stock goes over the top of the shells. Don't do that. You want them to steam first. Then I'm going to wrap them up with foil, and after about 20 minutes in the oven, I'm going to open this up and turn the shells over so that they cook on the other side. The first 20 minutes go like this. Okay, it's been in for 20 minutes. You can open it up. You gotta be careful you don't burn yourself, of course. As you can see, it looks pretty good. I'm now just going to take these and flip them over. The egg is cooked enough in that filling that it's set, and the filling won't run out now. If we'd put them in the other way originally, all what happens is the filling would have just spilled all over the inside of the pan and made a sloppy mess. So you got to cook them the other way first. You get cracked ones as usual. This isn't for restaurant presentations. I went ahead and cooked the ones that were split. If it was for a restaurant, of course I wouldn't do that. I would throw those out. You would never. Okay, now it's been another 15 minutes uncovered. The last few minutes of cooking time will be uncovered to help dry it out just a little bit. Now this is exactly how we would reheat them. I've got a casserole dish here that's oven proof, of course. There's some olive oil in the bottom of it. These shells were refrigerated. They were fully cooked, as you saw before. They were refrigerated overnight. Now there's two ways we can address this. We can either reheat them in the steam oven now, just like this, then put tomato sauce over the top of them, or we can put tomato sauce on them now and some more mozzarella and make them more sumptuous. It will make them messier. When you get out, there'll be tomato sauce all over the place, there'll be melted cheese all over the place. Yeah, you can put some basil over the top. It's a different look. If you want them to look really professional, you don't do that. You leave it like this and you just put little dots of tomato sauce over it. But you know, it's your recipe, your dinner. You decide how you want it. Now, if I was doing it the other way, which is more popular for home cooks, honestly, this is how I would arrange it. And I'm going to put it in the oven, and I'm going to show you what it looks like this way. Here's 10 minutes at 180 Celsius, what it looks like. If it was me and I wanted to serve it this way, I might just serve it in a casserole dish, kind of like this. You could move it to a plate if you wanted to. I'm drizzling a little bit of olive oil on it. And, of course, you can add, you know, some little bits of basil, to give it that Italian grandma look, like because they love to just tear little bits of herbs off and toss them on top of things. Okay. Something like that. We've got the tomato pasta sauce. There's a recipe for that on my channel already. It's exactly the one that is in the channel. I have not changed anything. And I've got some basil I'm going to pick through and use this for garnish on top. You can use tweezers to arrange it a little bit more carefully. And then actually at presentation you can grate a little bit more Parmesan over the top of it. Doesn't Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.